Hi, my name is Joe. Welcome to On the Road with RTR. In this episode, we go to the State House to support human services and workers and interview members of the caring force. Join us on the road with RTR.
My name's Kevin Gilnack. I'm with the Caring Force. It's a new grassroots advocacy initiative we formed last November, actually. We just turned a year old a few days ago. We came together to bring together both clients, workers, family members, and everybody in the community who cares about human services, because we felt like there was a real need to get the message out about what's going on in the sector and the challenges we face, and really build a groundswell of support across the Commonwealth to get us the resources we need to create a strong human service sector. The folks behind me are the great folks from Road to Responsibility. They've actually been incredibly supportive. As you might know, over the last week, we've been fighting really hard to get what's called the Salary Reserve released. It's a fund that was approved by the legislature over the summer that was intended to get human service workers their first raise in over 5 years. It was recently put on hold because of the state's finance issues, and that we found that out in November. And since then, we've been organizing, and starting last week, we've been doing sit-ins in the governor's office, trying to raise awareness of the issue and get him to release those dollars. We just found out earlier this week he's going to be releasing it. So these great folks, staff, clients, consumers from Road to Responsibility came out to join us in thanking the governor for his support. Human services encompasses a wide variety of different types of programs. It can be disability, it can be mental health, substance abuse, homelessness, domestic violence. We're about bringing everyone together who's providing services to people in the Commonwealth to fight across the board to get the funding for programs and workers that we need. Most recently, we've been doing this advocacy for the Salary Reserve. It's one of our most important initiatives. The human service sector is composed 80% of 80% of the money that's spent on human services goes to the workers. These are the people who day in and day out take care of our most vulnerable populations. They make sure that other family members can go to work knowing that their loved ones are cared for in a safe environment with quality programming. They train people to get back into the workforce, and they provide the vital glue that holds our communities together. So without those workers, we really wouldn't be anywhere. And after 5 years without having any sort of pay increase, we knew it was time to get that so that we can keep the quality workers we need. So that's why I've been doing these protests for the last 2 weeks, trying to generate the support we needed to get that fund reserved. Well, today we're here to thank the governor for releasing the Salary Reserve. As I was saying, this is a fund that was put on hold back in November, even though it was approved by the legislature back in July. We're really grateful. We know that the state is facing a huge budget shortfall, but despite that, the governor came through for us to find the funding we need to get this money released and get workers their first raise in 5 years. So we're here to say thank you. Last year when we launched, we put out this fantastic new website. It's thecaringforce.org, www.thecaringforce.org, and it's your one source for getting signed up and finding out all the latest information about what we've been up to. And these wonderful folks are the new responsibility of clients and workers, and they want to say thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you so much. Very many thank you.
On behalf of all 29,000 workers here, we appreciate this.
Well, I'm happy that it worked out for you.
We appreciate it.
I know I'm not the governor,
But you've been a wonderful ambassador for the last 2 weeks of this year. Thank you both.
but you're welcome.
And please let the governor know.
Be good.
Hi, my name is Joe. I'm here with Kevin. I'm going to ask you a couple questions.
Great.
What is the Caring Force?
The Caring Force is a new advocacy initiative. It's made up of human service workers, people who receive services, family members, board members of nonprofit agencies, and anyone in the community who cares about supporting our human services system, whether it's homeless shelters, domestic violence shelters, disability programs, work programs, all of the different programs that support our communities. It's about getting them the resources they need to be strong and keep Massachusetts moving forward.
What does the Caring Force support?
The Caring Force supports human service programs and its workers, so it's about getting funding, mostly from state and other types of support, to go into the programs that makes it possible for people to bring their kids to childcare programs, send loved ones to disability programs, and those types of services. And then it's about the workers, because human service workers generally make, on average, $12 an hour. A lot start off making a lot less, and for the work they do, they deserve a lot better, and that's why we came together to fight for them and get them the support that they need.
How did you get involved with the Caring Force?
Well, I've been working in human service advocacy for about 6 years, and this initiative just started last November. We came together, we brought a bunch of different types of human service organizations together and talked about what it would take to get us the support that we deserve from our legislature, and we launched it from there.
Okay. Who helps you with the Caring Force?
Like I was saying before, the Caring Force is really made up of a diverse set of stakeholders. It's everyone from the direct care workers who work in programs every day, to the leaders of agencies, to the board members that volunteer their time to oversee them, donors, even legislators, business owners. Anyone can get involved in supporting human services because they affect all of our lives.
What is the Caring Force is?
The Caring Force does a lot of different things to engage our members. We have a really flashy new website that we launched last year. It's the one-stop shop where people can get signed up, find out the latest news, and take action that's going to help support human services. We're also on social media like Facebook and Twitter, and we're all across the state. We try to get out to programs like Road to Responsibility and other providers as often as we can to talk to everyone who wants to get involved and let them know how they can be a part of it.
Okay. Could anyone join the Caring Force?
Anyone. Human services affects all of us, so we encourage everyone to get online to thecaringforce.org, where you can sign up, use just an email address, and get the latest updates and take action.
How would the budget cuts get involved?
Well, the budget cuts could have had much more devastating consequences than we originally expected. As it is, some programs did get cuts. It was largely new money that the state had set aside to start some new programs, and unfortunately they have been delayed because of some tight tax collections for the state. But the thing that we were really focused on leading into the winter was the salary reserve. That's a fund for human service workers. Like I was saying, human service workers on average make $12 an hour, but a lot of them start off making $10 or $11, and they haven't had a raise for 5 years. There was money scheduled to be released before the holidays to get these workers their first raise in 5 years, and there was a really good chance that that money might have been cut when the state was deciding where they were going to make their mid-year spending cuts. In the end, we ended up having more than 200 members of the Caring Force come to the State House on a daily basis to urge the governor to release those funds. We also sent nearly 3,000 emails to the governor's office, and we had a whole lot of support from our elected officials like our state reps and state senators who spoke out, and we ended up making sure that workers got that raise, and they should be getting it in the next few weeks.
Okay. How did you get involved with the State House and the budget cuts?
We got involved in a few different ways. Like I was saying, the most intensive and visible thing that you might have even seen in the news was on a daily basis. We had human service workers, program participants, family members, and other supporters come to the State House and sit in the governor's office all day long to create visibility and raise awareness for the issue, because the only way you really are going to make an impact and get the media's attention is to do something where you're out in the community or at the State House. So we were there every day. We saw the governor multiple times. We met with some of his staff, and we really impressed upon him how direly human service workers needed their first raise in 5 years. And we also sent email alerts letting people know what's going on and letting them know how they can take action. We had about 3,000 emails go into the governor's office, hundreds of phone calls, social media outreach. People were tweeting at the governor, leaving messages on his Facebook wall. There's a whole lot of pressure points, and we used them all to make sure that he got the message.
Did you not going to the State House, and not doing the caring force?
You don't have to go to the State House to be a part of the caring force. The most important thing is getting plugged in, staying involved. So, like I said, the website is really the one-stop shop for finding out what's going on and getting signed up. We encourage everyone to go to www.thecaringforce.org. It's a fantastic website, and right away you'll get prompted to sign up, and that's how you're going to get plugged in for all the other action that we have going on.
Could you tell me a little more? About the caring force?
Well, the Caring Force has grown to almost 10,000 members in the last year since it's existed. It's made up of a really diverse set of members from across Massachusetts. Like I was saying, a lot of human service workers are involved, but it's also about the clients, the consumers, the family members, agency leaders, and we've even had some state reps and state senators sign up, and it keeps growing every day. And we're going to keep fighting. We've got the governor is going to be sending out his proposal for the next year's budget at the end of this month, and we know the state's facing some really tough times, and it's going to be really important for everyone to have a voice in that process to make sure we get the support we need. So definitely look for us to be fighting for our workers and for our programs in the budget cycle to come.
How did the caring force get started?
The Caring Force got started. It launched officially last November, but it's been in the works for over a couple of years. We realized that we just weren't getting the support we needed from state government. The services that we provide are really basic services that are the responsibility of our community, and our community wasn't stepping up to make sure that they were funded adequately. So we realized that we needed to expand our advocacy, and that's why we created the Caring Force, to give people a way to get involved and speak out.
Okay. Who can't be a part of the caring force?
Anyone at all who cares about human services can get involved. You don't have to work in human services or even be involved in the system. If you care about making our communities stronger and making our economy stronger, we need a human service system that's strong and well-funded and can take care of the people who need it. So anyone is invited to get involved.
Okay. How can people be in the caring force and support?
Well, the most basic thing people can do is sign up, and they can do that online at thecaringforce.org. We also go out and visit different programs, and we're in different community events, and anytime you see us, you can fill out a little pledge card. It's a sign-up sheet. We'll put you in the system, but there's no dues, there's nothing like that. It's just about getting involved and getting in the loop, and that starts with just putting in an email address and joining the list, and then taking action from there.
That's all the time we have for. Thank you for joining On the Road with RTR.
Hi, my name's Kevin Gilnack, and I'm the campaign manager for the Caring Force. And I wanted to take a minute to talk to Jackie, who's a direct care worker here at Road to Responsibility, about her involvement. Jackie, can you tell me a little bit about how you originally heard about the Caring Force?
I work for a human service agency, Road to Responsibility, so I found out about the Caring Force through them.
Okay, and can you tell me a little bit how you've been involved?
More recently, I went to the State House to rally against the cut of the salary reserve for human service workers. And I'm a Caring Force member, and I have written emails and letters to various state officials.
Terrific. Well, thank you for your advocacy.
Yep.
And how long have you been working here at Road to Responsibility?
I've been with Road to Responsibility for 6 years.
Okay. That's a decent amount of time. You must like it.
Yeah, I do. It's a great organization.
Terrific. Well, I know as rewarding as the job is, the wages are not what they probably should be yet. And I'm wondering if you can tell us a little bit about what it is to try to make a living working on a human service worker's wages.
It's difficult. I know for most of my colleagues, people have 2 full-time jobs. In addition to that, a lot of people are trying to go to school to better themselves and further their education, for the betterment of human services and the agencies they work for. So it's difficult. It's not easy.
Well, thank you for getting involved and doing the advocacy that's going to get that first raise in 5 years for these workers by protecting the salary reserve.
Absolutely.
Can you just tell me what it means to you to be able to have a voice in advocating for yourself, the programs you work for, and your fellow workers through the Caring Force?
Actually, after we went to the State House, I wrote a thank you letter to Governor Patrick for reinstating the funds because, for 2 reasons, because we desperately need it. Human service workers are egregiously underpaid, and because it was great for me to be able to go to the State House and have my voice be heard and see that, if people can come together, they can make a difference, in their local government. So it was nice to see that our government is supporting us.
Well, that's wonderful, and thank you for being involved.
Thank you.
I think that'll pretty much wrap it up. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Kevin Gilnack, and I'm the campaign manager for the Caring Force, and I'm here talking to Michael Maloney, who's the president and CEO of HMEA, a disability services provider out of Franklin, Massachusetts. And Mike, I know you were involved in the Caring Force from the very beginning. You helped us get it launched. I'm wondering if you can talk a little bit about why it was so important to get it started and how it came to be.
Sure. So we work with people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, and over the years we've done a really, really great job advocating for people who used to live in institutions to have real lives in the community. But what has happened is our staff have been forgotten and left behind. Staff just can't make it on the wages at all. So I feel as an agency head, there is a movement out there waiting to happen. It's our staff. There's about 100,000 workers in our community, and people need to get mobilized for a better future.
Great. Well, can you talk a little bit about how your agency has gotten involved in the ways that your workers and program participants have been a part of the Caring Force?
Sure. People actually have been really excited. There is a lot of frustration out there. There is a lot of people who are voiceless. The direct support staff want to have a voice. So we get many buses of people and volunteers that want to go into the State House. One of the great things is the people we support, people who have developmental disabilities, are advocating for staff, and that's really an empowering thing. So we talk to our staff at orientation. Yesterday, for example, I had 15 out of 15 staff sign up. We have 600 staff. We have about 550 sign up right now. So it's extremely easy because people want to be involved.
Great. Well, again, that's really glad to hear it. Can you tell us a little bit about some of the reactions you've gotten from people who have been involved, whether they've been to a rally or to a visibility or any of the other types of advocacy that we've been doing?
Sure. Again, I think a lot of our staff aren't aware that things really happen at the State House and on Beacon Hill. And when they meet with legislators, it's the first time. We're finding staff who really are very articulate about the need for more money for direct support workers. And again, the people we support are really happy to go up to the State House with people. So we're finding some really strong supporters in our community.
Well, that's great. I appreciate your time and all your advocacy. Thank you.
You're welcome, Kevin.
That's all the time we have for. Join us next time for On the Road with RTR.